The next skill we're going to work on is looking up parts through the Briggs provided illustrated parts list. For those of you in my class, one of your assignments will be to look up a set of parts and provide me with the correct part number and part description. We'll also use this for one of our online quizzes. This is a great skill for those of you in career and ag education. This is part of the state or the engine's CDE as far as looking up parts and providing part numbers and part names. But it's also just a great skill as a homeowner who has a small gas engine, maybe lawnmower, pressure washer, whatever. Should you need parts, you can access this and look up your own part numbers, order parts, or take the part number that you know you need to your local small engine shop. It's pretty difficult to go into an engine shop and say, hey, I need the ignition armature for a Briggs 950. That 950 that we see stamped on the engines, or the 900 if you're familiar with that model series, doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, and pretty much almost nothing to those who are in the parts world. So what we need to know is the actual model number and probably the type number. I'll get into locating that in another video, but just know that right now we're working with model series 130G00. My specific engines are type 0022. If you're familiar with other engines, these are the 950s. Others, the 900s, as far as contest engines, they start with a 1-2 something. We see the table of contents. It's broken up. It's also known as an exploded diagram because you've got each part of the engine listed separately, kind of grouped together by what it does and where it goes within the engine. So let's look at how we use that. So that's our first part. You should hopefully recognize this as a tappet or a valve tappet. And you can look through here. This is probably going to be somewhere in the world of either the camshaft or the crankcase cover. So we'll look at around page 2. Not seeing it there, so we look up. There's the head. Oh, I see it here. Associated with the head and the valves. So here's our tappet, the push rod that it would connect to, and then obviously the valves that it would connect to here. So we see that we have this number 45. So you go in, you say, I need a valve tappet, part number 45. Well, unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. Your service counter person is just going to look at you cross-eyed still because that's not a part number. What that is a reference number, so we can look up the part number. So I want you all in my class to write down the reference number is 45. Then what do? You have to go to the back of this manual where we have all the parts listed, and we need to locate reference number 45. So here's our reference numbers. There's 45. We can see that part number that we actually need is 591449. And our description is valve tappet. And that's going to be the same for just about any part, or actually not just about any part. So now if we look here, we know we have an ignition armature. And it's going to be directly listed, and I'll just flip right to that. And here it is, right there at the top of your screen on page 8 with a reference number of 333. Once again, you're going to go to the back of the parts list, which again, these parts lists I put on Moodle for you. We find 333. We can find part number 590603, and our description is armature magneto. And sometimes we can do it with even little parts. So say your mower's absolutely fine, but you broke this. This is the choke lever, which you can still run it, but it might be a little bit helpful sometimes to be able to choke your engine to actually get it started. So we can look in that world. That's going to be in the carburetor world. So we can start with page 6. And we can find that right here. We see it's going to be listed in 2 places. I'll talk about a couple of things in just a second. But we got a part reference number of 951. So we're going to write that down. 951. I'm going to go to the back of our manual. We're going to look at 951. So now we know we have part number 590614. And that's lever dash choke. Or you could write choke lever. I usually tell the students in the contest to write exactly what the manual says. That's why there's no arguing for points. All right, so let's look at something else with this manual that you need to know about. I'm going to do a little bit of pretending. So I have here the entire carburetor from one of these Model 130G engines, or the 950s if you want to go by what it's labeled as far as the Briggs number on the side. So let's go to the carburetor page. I already looked at it and forgot. Let's see, page 6. Oh man, what do? We've got 2 reference numbers. We've got 2 carburetors. All right, so what we have to do is we have to look at the carburetor we have. And again, this would be the choke lever that fits here. So we have the complete carburetor. And we have to determine which carburetor is being described here in this manual. And because we know this choke lever is over here in this box and not over here in this box, we know that we have a 125B reference number. So when we're looking at this 125B is for everything in, this is the whole carburetor kit. Say if we only needed gaskets, we could look up individual carburetor gaskets with their reference numbers or bowl nuts or whatever we need. But this is the whole carburetor. This is 125B is everything that's in this square. And it's going to be denoted by the little numbers there. All right, so let's go to 125B. We can see that we're going to have 125B. We've got the part number 596203 carburetor. Well, let's talk about one more thing here. We have 125A and we have 125B here, and we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 different part numbers because of type numbers. Now, earlier I said when I started the video, we have type 0022. So we're going to have to play a little bit of the pretend game because 0022 is not listed anywhere here specifically. But let's say I had identified 125A as my carburetor and my type number was 0032. So I would need to make sure that I look up the type number each time when I see this, because the actual part number I would need if I had type 0032 is this and not this. So let's say another pretend, if I had 125A and my type numbers were not listed anywhere here. If that's the case, you revert back to the original part number. Again, for clarity, if your type number is in here listed exactly, you use the part number associated with where it says use on types, yada, yada, yada. If not, you revert back to this part number that's listed first. Again, for those of you in my class, this will be one of your assignments and quiz grades.